One big trap I suffered from when I was first starting my business, and also currently, and I see a lot of other people do this, is trying to overcomplicate these systems when it's just not necessary whatsoever. Especially when starting out, it is such a big problem because you're so focused on such minuscule tasks that mean they're meaningless. They're not going to do anything for you, but you focus on that rather than the needle movers. And when starting out, like for myself, when I was starting my video editing agency, when I was starting, the needle movers were content, getting good at the service, and cold outreach. And anything other than that was a bit of a waste of time because it wasn't growing anything. It wasn't moving the needle forward. And even now, sometimes, in the moment, it seems like a good idea. Like I'm creating some AI automation with Claude, and then maybe it's like it figures out a particular number in Google Sheets or something like that, and then or it's like a some sort of follow up system. And the problem is, I would like I do this now. Like I spend so much time on trying to make things so efficient when it doesn't do anything, and I could have just spent that time doing elsewhere or something else, and it would have grown the business. Like, for example, I was trying to build out this really intricate follow-up system for leads that were coming from my meta ads. And the problem is that the leads that were coming in from the meta ads, and still the problem is still here, is that very, like, I would say 1 in 30 are qualified, and then I'm getting 30 a month. So why am I wasting time trying to build this follow-up system when the real needle mover within that is just focusing on the ad and improving that? And that's what I keep on trying to do. And I find it's very easy to get lost and focused, hyper focused on these tasks. Like starting out, I remember I would spend like 4 hours in one go trying to figure out a logo or a name or a particular color, and it does absolutely nothing for you. And then I wouldn't even bother with that business. It's such a waste of time. When starting, you just have to prioritize. I mean, throughout the whole process, really, like even to when I'm at my point now, I've got a few team members doing handling the video editing for me. Even small tasks where it's kind of easy tasks that I can offload to my team, and I choose to do them myself. It's just stupid because if I've got my own hourly rate in my head, and then if anything below that task I shouldn't be doing, and then especially for the videos, it's like I charge X amount to the editor, X amount to the client. If I can do that in X amount of time and it's above my hourly rate, then it kind of makes sense. But then if I can offload it, then I should be doing that. Yeah, I think when starting out, like the biggest things I think people get caught up on is one, company logos, tax, or I'm jumping the gun, company logos, names, branding, things like that, and also trying to figure out what to do. A lot of the time, it's better to just start rather than waiting 5 months trying to find the perfect business plan whilst you've got no skills. Just start something and get good. Another one is tax and kind of contracts and things like that. I think the tax side is definitely important. And the kind of legal side with becoming a proper LLC and a sole trader, they're definitely important, but I don't think it's such a focus where it stops people from starting. I was doing this mentorship thing I got asked to be like a mentor for these school students who I'm a few steps ahead of them in business, and it's just helping them out get started. And I remember one of the guys, I was like going around, and then one of my questions to them was, "What is your biggest problems right now?" And then I believe they're a pressure washer company or like some sort of home services company. And they said the biggest bottleneck or problem right now is insurance and then tax, and they're not sure what to do. And the problem with that is that it's like as a young person you don't have a clue about anything to do with business, it's very intimidating, and it's definitely important. Like I don't think you should ignore it, but a lot of it you just figure out along the way. And like for me, I was a sole trader up until 1st of April this year, and then I was a sole trader for I think 3 years. So, and I was able to scale my business up a bit. So And I think I had my first team member for at least a year. So as a subcontractor. So I think if you worry about the small things like insurance and tax and becoming what type of, if you should be an LLC or a sole trader or just go under the radar, which I don't recommend, go to a sole trader, but you just don't move. You just stay stuck. And I think a lot of it, like I was saying before, just trying to figure out the right business, you just waste so much time. I was jumping around from business to business. Like I've properly tried 7 different businesses, and there's probably 10 or 12 in total where they're like ideas that I'm planning to execute on, and I don't. So within that, I bounced around and got good at nothing. And then compared to like now, I've just been solely focused on getting good at video editing. And then now my focus is more from getting goods because I can charge a good enough price where it's actually scalable and I've got a service that's scalable. To now I'm focusing on building a team and I'm trying to figure out how can I build a team around that's not solely dependent on me. And the only reason why I'm able to do that now is because I've just focused on getting good at one thing. So without that, you're going to stay stuck. And it's a problem that I struggled with for a while and still do. I plateaued for about a year because I was just focused on client work where I completely ignored scaling the business. And I was wondering why the business isn't scaling or drastically scaling or at a good pace. But yeah, yeah. I think if you're procrastinating, honestly, stop being a retard. Just get to it. Like you're gonna get nowhere otherwise. Yeah. Hopefully that helps. Just bite the bullet and go for it. And yeah, have a good one.